and welcome back to my kitchen. In my last video about water glassing eggs, I mentioned a method for eggs that if you would happen to have hens and you have freshly laid eggs that are dirty and they need to be washed because they're just so dirty, I mentioned a method of storing them on the shelf by oiling them. Now this also works for all of you that here in the United States anyway, that purchase eggs in your grocery store. All of the egg producers in the United States are required to wash the eggs before they reach the consumer in the grocery store. So just like farm fresh eggs, if you wash them, you remove that natural invisible layer called the bloom on the outside of the egg. Store-bought eggs have been washed, and so the bloom has been removed from them too. So store-bought eggs or washed eggs from the farm, neither one of them can be used in water glassing, but you can use both of those types of eggs by oiling them and then storing them on your shelf instead of in the refrigerator. So we have some rainy days and our eggs were really dirty. No matter how hard we tried to keep the nesting boxes clean, the chickens were just dragging stuff in on their feet. And so we had a lot of dirty eggs here this last week. So I washed a bunch of them up, and like I said, that removes that natural coating, the bloom. So I can no longer, these are no longer eggs that are candidates that can be used in the water glassing method. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to oil them so that I can still store them on my shelf for months at a time with no refrigeration. So in order to oil eggs, all you need is good old-fashioned mineral oil. I apologize for the dog barking. Anyway, all you need is mineral oil, and you can find mineral oil in any pharmacy anywhere. In your grocery store pharmacy, in Walmart pharmacy. Mineral oil has been used as a laxative for years and years, which means that it is ingested. People, take this as a laxative, so it can be ingested and doesn't cause you harm. So you don't have to worry about this being on your eggshell. It's not going to contaminate the egg or leave any chemical that is dangerous to you at all. Just good old-fashioned mineral oil. So I take about a tablespoon of mineral oil. Takes about a tablespoon of mineral oil per 1 dozen eggs. So I have about a tablespoon in here. And I put my bowl into the microwave for about 7 seconds just to warm it up a little bit because the oil is pretty thick. And what that does is in warming the oil, it just makes it a little bit more fluidy so that we're going to make sure that it's penetrating all of that porous eggshell. So after washing my eggs, I laid them out on a towel and I made sure that they were absolutely dry. I allow mine to air dry, but that's really important not to have any water on here because you really want your oil to adhere to the eggshell. So all I do is I take and I dip my fingers into that mineral oil. Now you don't want it hot, just a little warm so that it's gotten a little liquidy, okay? And just literally rub your egg, okay? You want to make sure that you just coat the entire surface of the egg, and that's all there is to it. Your egg is oiled and ready to be stored at room temperature for months. So I'll just do a couple more of these. Now I do want to talk to you about the difference in egg cartons, okay? Now for oiling, these styrofoam type egg cartons work wonderfully because the mineral oil does not soak into the egg carton material at all. So if you have these styrofoam type cartons, these are perfect for storing oiled eggs in. If you only have the cardboard type boxes, now with the styrofoam, this is all you have to do. Oil your eggs, make sure that your surface is completely covered with your mineral oil, and just pop them right on into your egg carton and you're done. Now if you have the cardboard type boxes, you're going to want to protect your box a little bit, and there's a couple of different reasons why you want to do this. your oil will soak in, oh, that, we had a feather there. Anyway, your oil will soak into your cardboard, and it will also, the cardboard will kind of suck the oil off of the egg. You want to make sure that that egg remains coated with oil. So what I do is when I'm using my cardboard boxes is I put a piece of plastic wrap inside the egg carton and just set my eggs inside that plastic wrap. And that works just as well as those styrofoam boxes. Now, before I close, let's just pretend that I have my egg carton is completely, now I'm only talking about the cardboard one. Your styrofoam one, all you do is put your oiled eggs in there and close the lid. You're done on that. With the cardboard ones, using a piece of plastic wrap, we'll just pretend this is full. Just take another small piece of plastic wrap when you have all your eggs in there and just lay it over the top of your eggs. Now you're not really having to worry about sealing the air out. That's not what the intention is of the plastic wrap. What the plastic wrap is doing is the plastic wrap is just simply protecting the eggs from the cardboard wicking away the oil. So you don't want your eggs directly on the cardboard. Just cover it with plastic wrap and then close your top. All right, so these, in my opinion, I have stored these oiled eggs on my shelf for up to 6 months. Some people claim that you can store them up to a year. I'm a lot more comfortable with around that 6-month period of time. And this is on the shelf, not refrigerated, and in a coolish place. So wherever you store your home canned goods, you know, whether it be in your basement where it's nice and cool, or a nice cool closet, or whatever, wherever, that's where you're going to be able to store these eggs also. So once a month, you just simply go into where you have your eggs stored, mark it on your calendar, put it in the calendar on your cell phone, whatever, a little alarm to remind you, or on the first of each month say, it's egg turning day. You simply go in where you have your eggs stored and you turn the boxes upside down until the next month. What that does is 2 things. It kind of redistributes any extra oil that is on the surface of the egg. So think about that egg been sitting there for a month. All of the oil, and gravity works, that oil kind of rolls down to the one end of the egg. By flipping your carton upside down, all that pulled oil is then going to go back around the egg. And another reason why this is good to do for your oiled eggs is it kind of keeps that yolk moving back and forth in the egg. If you just leave them in one position, that yolk floats up to the top of the egg, and it kind of sticks there by that air pocket. So when you flip it around, it has the chance to float on back down to the other end of the egg. So that's pretty much all there is to it. One last tip that I will give you is that if you are using this method for store-bought eggs, obviously here in the United States, all of our eggs are in the refrigerated cases at our grocery stores. So you go ahead and you buy those eggs, you bring them home, allow them to come to room temperature. If you want to take them out of the boxes and lay them on towels, that works great. Just lay them out, let them come to room temperature, allow any condensation that has occurred, you know, the change between the cold and the warmth of the room. If you have any condensation on those eggshells, allow that just evaporate and dry. You just want those eggs dry before you apply the oil. I seem to be stumbling over my words today. But anyway, that's how easy it is. Like I said, you can store them on the shelf this way, oiled on the shelf this way, for up to 6 months. If you ever have a doubt about any egg and any type of storage that you have used with a raw egg, remember that float test. Take a glass of water, simply carefully place your egg into the glass of water. If it sinks down to the bottom of the glass, it's absolutely fine. If it raises up a little bit to midway, it's getting old, but it's not bad or rotten. If it rises to the surface and breaks out of the surface, the top of the water like a bobber, then you know it's rotten. Do not use it. So remember that float test. absolutely works on any kind of raw egg at all. It's a wonderful method of testing for good versus bad egg. But anyway, that's how easy it is, guys. I hope that you take the chance and the opportunity to use this method in your home too. I know not everybody has the opportunity to have farm fresh unwashed eggs, and not everybody can do the water glassing because they don't have those farm fresh eggs. But those of you that purchase your eggs from the grocery store, or those of us who have to wash some of our farm fresh eggs, this is a perfect solution to extend that life on these eggs also. So I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for joining me again today, and happy canning, everybody.